Hey, my name is Mike, and in Tana and Jungle in Draenor, you will find Hellfire Citadel, which is a level 100 raid. Make sure before you enter, you set it to Mythic. You can double check chat to make sure chat says it is set to Mythic, and once you enter, you can double check chat once again to make sure it is set to Mythic, and then you can proceed to kill all the trash before the first boss. And while I'm doing that in the video, I'm going to go over a couple of things. First of all, the mount that we're farming in this video is a Felsteel Annihilator. It's about a 4% drop rate off of the last boss, Archimonde, and it drops on Mythic only. The 10 or 25 player option doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one you set it to. It has no relevance as to whether or not the mount will drop. The video is a little bit sped up, and there will be a stopwatch above my chat in about a minute or so you can see just how much is sped up and when I'm cutting things out, like redundant parts of the video. Nothing important is cut out, don't worry, but in case you're wondering, you'll have an idea of that when that stopwatch is up. The map will be staying open throughout the majority of this run, just so anyone who's never been in this raid before has a better sense of direction and they can orient themselves a little bit better. In this video, I am a Fury Warrior, item level 396, and this was filmed on Thursday, June 27, 2019 in patch 8.2.0, build 30920, and that's about it. So the trash that we're killing right now is to spawn the Hellfire Assault fight, which, if you are not aware, they actually nerfed this in patch 8.2. So before, the adds did a whole bunch of damage to the cannons, and unless you were a very mobile class, it was pretty much impossible. And they also made it so instead of needing 20 crates, you now just need 5 to finish the fight. So once you kill all those adds, make your way back to the start. I forgot for a minute that there was going to be a couple more adds on both sides of the cannon that spawn, or on both sides at each cannon. So make sure to kill those adds before, make sure to kill those adds so that way you can actually kill the boss. But once you kill these adds, the Siege Master, Martok, I believe her name is, will come out, takes a couple of seconds, and then you can start the fight by attacking her. She doesn't die, she just gets to like 1 HP, I think, and will run away. And after about, 10 or so seconds, these orange swirlies will start spawning, and from them adds will start spawning. There is Iron Dragoons, which don't do that much damage. There is, I believe, Fellcasters they're called, which used to turn into demons. And I feel like that big guy, I forget their name, but they don't do that much damage. Basically, at level 120, this is very much so not a big deal. You don't take that much damage. Stuff dies very, very quickly. So you should be able to solo this with ease at level 120. And this was just a hard fight that not a lot of people could get past. So now you can. So on Mythic, these siege vehicles will be spawning on both sides of the cannons. And when any vehicle dies, what's going to happen is they spawn that green box I just picked up, and it's an ammunition crate. So what you want to do is you want to pick it up. You get a 14-second speed boost, and you want to take it to the cannons. You have to do this 5 times to complete the fight. So what I do is usually I will head to one of the cannons like I'm doing now. I will kill I'll kill the vehicle that's there, pick up the crate, kill all the adds, and then make my way to the opposite cannon. So it's like a crisscross scenario, because at the moment there's no adds at the cannon I was just at. There's adds at this one. So I'm just kind of crisscrossing back and forth. On normal and heroic, vehicles spawn 1 side at a time. Like I said, on Mythic, they spawn 2 at a time. And like I said earlier, the adds do a lot less damage, and you only need 5 crates. So this is a much easier fight now, and it's perfectly soloable. So as you just saw, I did it with ease. You can go ahead and collect your loot, and then after about 30 seconds of RP or so, Iron Reaver will spawn in the center of the room here. I think I took damage from that, but it was very, 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 very small, so it's not that big of a deal if you get hit by that. Iron Reaver is pretty much at this point just a tank and spank, just kill him really very quickly. I am going to be giving you some strats for some of the bosses in case your DPS isn't very high, and if time permits, I'll give you some stories from back in the day, because I did do Mythic progression on all of these fights when they were current content, and I'm going to link the playlist to those videos down below if you want to see what they actually look like. And just a side note real quick, on my way to Kormrok, I totally forgot I didn't have to kill all the adds, so I do remember that shortly, but the adds that I'm killing on the way to the boss, you don't have to kill. Like these adds in the hallway, you don't have to kill. The ones in Kormrok's room, you do. But anyway, on Iron Reaver, I remember that the big mechanic for Mythic was that there was a whole bunch of bombs that would spawn, and they had all different detonating times. You had to specify, like tanks had to get a certain bomb, DPS had to get a different bomb, and I think there was like this one bomb that had like a 10-second diffuse or detonation time, and it would just explode very quickly and pretty much wipe your raid. So I remember that fight being a pain in the butt. In Kormrok's room, there will be, I believe, 4 stationary pockets of adds as well as patrol. You can mount in this room, so make sure to do that and just go around picking up all the adds. Again, if you're a little bit not as geared, maybe just do a couple at a time or one at a time. and you're just going to want to AoE them down. And once you kill all of the adds, it'll take about 10 seconds of RP, and Kormrok will jump into the center of the room. Just like Iron Reaver, if you're geared, tank and spank, no big deal. If you're a little bit lower geared, what you want to do with this fight is you want to bring Kormrok to one of the 3 puddles around the room. The one he's closest to is the one he activates first. So the purple one is the one I recommend going to first, because when that happens, I don't remember exactly what it is, but I believe swirlies spawn, and you can stand in one to create a safe space for you, and the rest of the room becomes, it used to be deadly, nowadays probably won't do that much damage. But then a whole bunch of waves will be spawning and coming at you that you have to dodge, that used to kill you back in the day. And then the green one I would do last. So I would do purple, orange, green. The green one spawns gripping hands that I don't think you can DPS with your own hand if you're in it, so I wouldn't do that. And then the orange one spawns runes around the room that you need to soak, or else they do raid wide AoE, which I don't know if it would hurt you, but that would be the strategy there. Just really quickly, I remember Kormrok, I believe this was back when I was still doing normal and heroic videos separately. I believe the normal Kormrok video is the worst TLDR guide I ever made, because I didn't really know much of the mechanics. I was pugging it, and I just kind of rushed it together because I want to be the first one to post a video, and it's easily the worst video. Half the information's wrong. Very embarrassing video. The High Council, what you want to do is, I think you can face pull them, but if you get close enough, but I just use a range attack to pull them. You want to keep Xhul'horac and Blade Master away from Daya, or else they'll become immune to damage. At this point, it's not that big of a deal how quickly you DPS them down. You just want to kill Daya last. If you're a little bit slower on DPS and taking some damage, what you want to do is you want to bring them all down relatively evenly, and once they get to 30%, they get a additional, and none of the bosses share health, but once they get to 30% health, they get a new ability. I don't know what they are. And then I know that Xhul'horac, he has a ability called Fel Rage where he takes more damage, so you want to kill him during that. And yeah, I think that's kind of the main thing for that boss. Back in the day, that was actually a pretty chaotic fight, because I remember there was like this phase where like a purple ghost would be running around the room, and like you had to stay in a specific spot not to get hit, and that was a big raid wiper. It's hard to explain because I don't really remember it all that well. But there was also this other mechanic where, I think it was for Xhul'horac, you had to have groups of 4 or 5, and they had to like, one of them had to walk in, the other one had to walk out, and had to, like, it was for like the debuff that you had, and you wanted to make sure no one got too much of one debuff, and groups had to keep walking in and out so the closest person got that debuff. Yeah, it was just an annoying fight. For Kilrogg Deadeye, I actually don't encounter any mechanics in this fight on this video because I killed him so quickly. If you're a little bit lower geared and you actually do encounter mechanics, the main one to focus on is the adds. You want to kill any that you see, and then the other one will be when the boss has an arrow underneath him, there will be a red arrow above your character, and the ability he's doing is called Heartseeker. When he's doing Heartseeker, you want to run away from him, because after he casts that, a glob will spawn and walk towards the boss, and if the glob touches the boss, it will heal him. I think it's the full, but it might just be a percentage of his health. Either way, you want to kill that glob first if it spawns, because that's your main priority. I don't really think I have too many or any stories with that fight from back in the day. I don't remember it really being too much of a difficult fight. There is a phase, he spawns, I think it's 3 runes that people would have to stand in. I remember for my guild, it was like, there was always a communication error, so a lot of times we would miss, like only 2 people would go in instead of 3 to the other realm, and in that realm, there was just wave after wave after wave of mobs spawning, and if you, depending on how many you killed, you got a damage increase, or if you were a healer, you got a healing increase, and it was just awesome to go in there because your damage would just go crazy once you got out. That was pretty fun. On the way to Gorefiend, you can't jump off the side of the stairs. I don't know why, but you can't. You want to kill these adds to get Gorefiend to be active. These adds used to be pretty crazy. I think the Crone was the one you wanted to kill first, and they often wiped my guild, so that was fun to be able to kill them very quickly. Gorefiend, not a lot of mechanics to go on with this fight. Don't stand in swirlies. I think there's like a blue puddle that spawns. Don't stand in that. And yeah, after the boss dies, like 20 seconds later, Khadgar will spawn a portal that will take you to the 2nd floor. So you want to go ahead and do that. If you're a little bit slower, Feast of Souls, the boss will take like 100% more damage. That's when you primarily want to kill him. There's adds, you want to kill them. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. For Iskar, when you get up here, I don't know for sure. I actually didn't test this, but I don't know if you have to kill these adds. I'm pretty sure if you pull the boss, they all pull with him, so I just killed them anyway. When you pull the boss, there is an eye in front of him. You do not have to pick it up at all in this fight if you're geared like I am. I don't know what the percentage is. I think, but every like 33% or so, he'll fly up into the air and spawn different sets of adds. Just kill them. They're not that big of a deal anymore. If you have the eye, the Fel Conduit that the Warden cast, you can interrupt it. Otherwise, just kill them. In this video, you're going to see that I kind of just sit there. I take the Focus Blast, I think it's called, and I think the green incinerating fire, I just stand in it throughout the entire video to show you that I don't ever take damage because my absorb is on from my artifact neck or whatever, so it's really not that big of a deal. One thing I forgot while I was doing this video is that you can actually attack the boss while he's in the air, so I could have been doing my heroic throw and killed him at this point, but totally forgot. I don't know if he dies or just goes to 1 HP, but if you have a ranged ability, go ahead and just kill the boss while he's in the air. It'll just save you some time. And yeah, I think other than that, even if you're geared, the only if you're under geared and not doing as much damage, the only time I would pick up the eye is when the phantasmal winds come out, just so you don't get pushed off the edge. Other than that, it's a pretty simple fight. Back in the day, the eye was it was an annoying part of that fight, and we used add-ons back when you could still use add-ons to do stuff for you. And you had to like always keep throwing the eye back and forth between everyone in the raid because the dot you got from it was like a permanent dot at that point, and you did it to counter numerous different abilities. Like that fight was super hectic, and I remember no matter how many times we did it, I remember always having a little bit of anxiety whenever we did it. That was like I said, a hectic fight. In Socrethar's room, there's going to be 4 ads around the boss. You want to kill them to make the boss active. I think after you kill these ads, it takes about 20 seconds for the boss to become active. Like most bosses, just not really any mechanic that I had to deal with. So you want to kill this construct, and after the construct will come the soul. And if you are low on DPS, this is when you want to use your cooldowns, because you want to kill this soul to finish the fight. So use your cooldowns on that soul if you need to. And the chest for loot is off to the the western side, I believe. So just make sure to pick that up if you're trying to get some transmog or anything like that. Back in the day, what would happen, actually before I do that, the room that I'm going into right now is the Gauntlet room. There's going to be 4 portals on each corner of this room. You just saw one there, you're going to see me closing them in a second. What you want to do is you want to go to these portals, click them to close them. You want to close all 4. While you're closing it, and it's a cast bar, if you get attacked, it won't cancel the cast, so don't worry about that. You just want to focus on closing the portals, because ads will continuously spawn from them. And then once you close all the portals, Lord Aramel, I believe his name, will spawn, and it will drop down rather, and you can kill him, and that'll open the door so you can go towards Tyrant Velhari. But yeah, back in the day on Socrethar, someone has to get in the construct. Don't do that now. And they would have to like put fire on the ground. You have to deal with blue ghost ads, which if they touch you, they would fear you. There was a voracious soul stalker that had to be kited or it's frozen, because I think it one-shot you back in the day. So if you do see ads, kill them, and if they're blue, try not to get touched by them because they fear you forever. So moving into Tyrant Velhari's room, you can actually skip all of the trash. I wasn't sure if stuff would pull, so I just gave it a shot and nothing pulled. So all this trash, you can go ahead and skip it and just go straight to Tyrant Velhari. The only thing to note if you're a little bit slower on DPS is there is an aura on you throughout the entire fight that if you move, you take damage. Nowadays, even if you're slow on DPS, I think your health is high enough that this won't really be that big of a deal. But if you start seeing ads like I do in this video, you want to kill them. I don't remember what the Harbinger, or whatever it's called, does, but I know that the Sovereign will put a shield on Tyrant Velhari that either absorbs all damage or reduces damage. So make sure to kill the Sovereign first if it's up, because that's the one that'll make the fight take a little bit longer. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that fight. Back in the day, that one was the worst. I hated that fight, especially as a melee, because you'd have your back to a wall, so it was hard to see, first of all. And so the aura that does damage when you move, it was so annoying because you can't move, because you like 3 steps and you're dead. But there's so many mechanics that you have to move for. So it was just so frustrating, so annoying. I hated that fight, and it was nice to be able to go back now and just one-shot that boss pretty much, because that is pretty much the only thing I can say for that fight. I hated that fight so much. Going into the next room here, I don't know if I mentioned it, but you don't have to kill the bosses in the order that I'm doing. You can go do Socrethar first, or you can come do this way first once you're in the second floor. It doesn't really matter which way you go. This is kind of the way I've always done it. In this place, if you want to go to Xhul or Fel Lord, you actually can't. The doors will be closed until you kill this dude in the summoning circle. The dogs, when they die, each of them does an AoE that does more damage per dog that is dead. Again, not that big of a deal at 120, just something in case you were wondering. On your way to Xhul, do not fall in this crack in the bridge that I'm looking at right now. I fell in that numerous times during progression, I'm not going to lie to you, and it was embarrassing every single time. So keep an eye out, stay on the left, and don't die to that. These ads are not part of the fight. You have to kill them to get Xhul to be active. In this video, I pretty much, the one ad that spawns You want to kill that because when you do damage to that ad, it's this one right here. When you do damage to that ad, the boss will also take damage. And if you're a little bit slower on DPS, you might encounter some mechanics. And basically, the gist of it is that if you have a purple debuff, don't touch green stuff. If you have a green debuff, don't touch purple stuff. Because when you touch opposite colors, it does like an explosion, which I don't even know if it would do that much damage anymore. But it's just, that was the mechanic. And I remember back in the day, that was actually that was a favorite fight of mine. It was super hectic though, because you had to like maximize space when there wasn't that much, and you had to like specifically put stuff in specific places. And yeah, my brain's kind of not working all that well with memory right now, but yeah, it was a pretty fun fight. So on your way to Fel Lord, once you kill the ads before him, there's a gate that takes about 10 seconds to close once the ads are dead. And then the guy before Fel Lord, once you kill him, it'll take about 20 seconds for the boss to become active, and the boss is nothing. So don't stand in stuff, and that's it. Back in the day, on I believe it was normal, I pugged this boss like 5 times in a row, and every single time we one-shotted. This boss was stupid easy, and especially if you can one-shot a boss like this late, I don't know if it's late, but this late in a raid, 5 times in a row with a pug. Plus my guild came in here, I kind of half-assed an explanation. They were like, okay, I guess we'll pull, and we did it one shot. Stupid easy fight. On Mythic, I remember there was a Seed of Corruption, so there was like 5 people would get this debuff, and they had to go to a specific spot, and then waves would come out of them. And those waves pretty much wiped numerous raids numerous times. So once you kill all these bosses, head back to where you spawned up to the 2nd floor. The door behind you will now be opened. Talk to Khadgar to pick up the quest, and then click on the portal to go up to Mannoroth's room. The quest that you get is to kill Gorefiend 4 times, which will take you 4 weeks. Once you do that, you get a portal to teleport up to the 2nd floor right away, which saves you time. There's a follow-up quest where you have to kill Mannoroth 4 times, so another 4 weeks. Once you do that, you can teleport right up to Mannoroth, which if you're farming this mount, saves you a bunch of time, so definitely do those quests. When you're up in Mannoroth's room, pull one of the ads. They eventually kill themselves, so you don't have to kill them, but make your way towards the purple pillar and then keep your back to it because it does a knockback. I don't have it happen to me in this video, but just in case you're slower on DPS, you don't want to get knocked off the platform, so just keep your back to that purple platform. And once you kill the boss, about 20 seconds or so afterwards, Khadgar will spawn a portal up to Archimonde's room. So with Mannoroth, we did this pull. We pulled this guy like 600 times in a row, or 600 times before we killed him. And you know when like you're super tired and just everything's funny for no reason, you kind of have that camaraderie with your friends over the stupidest stuff? That's this fight. We did this so many times that we were all going insane, and we just bonded over it. I hated that fight at the time, but I have fond memories looking back now. So yeah. The ads before Archimonde are not part of the fight. You can kill them and then go to Archimonde. If he spawns a Doomfire Spirit, which is like a green orb, kill it. Otherwise, it'll spawn some fire that moves around throughout the fight, and don't stand in that. At 40%, he'll send you down to the Netherrealm. I'm pretty sure I could have killed him, and if you can, go ahead and do that before he sends you in here, but I just wanted you to see this for the video, so I didn't kill him, but if you can, like I said, go ahead and do that. In this Netherrealm, kill him quick, pop your cooldowns at this point if you need to, and don't send the purple stuff and kill any ads that there are. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you got your mount, and thank you for watching. If you want to check out the description box, you'll find a link to my Twitter, where I try to tweet almost every day, my Twitch, and yeah, so once again, thank you very much for watching. I love you very much, and I hope you get your mount. See you later.